Hey everybody, just plugged in the Ethernet cable here. I think this means that the quality of this stream should be pretty good. So welcome, happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, right? So we're just moving into the new office today. Let me just take this call. Yep. Yeah, I'm busy right now. I'm doing a YouTube live. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna see if this phone actually works. 1-832. No, it does not. I don't know if I have to dial like star 69 to get an outside line. I don't know. I don't know what I got to do. But I think we can buzz each other inside the office. I'm looking forward to some of you, especially those of you in the coaching. I'm looking forward to some of you coming out. I can't pick this camera up and walk down the office, but I'll go live on Facebook in just a few minutes here after this and just do kind of another office tour, and you can take a look at the conference room. But I'm looking forward to some of you, especially, like I said, especially in the coaching, coming out here and joining us in the conference room. We've got this sweet monitor set up. I just realized I can maybe find an HDMI cable laying around here somewhere and get that all hooked up and maybe even show that off in the next room. Anyway, I thought what we could do today, Wednesdays are like a good day, especially when the market's down. What was it? 700 points, right? The market was down 700. Let's see what it said. Stocks suffered their steepest losses in 2 weeks, with the Dow falling 700 points or 2.7% on fears that America's going to shut down again. I can't even get in the office now through the lobby without a mask, and it was never like that before. Of course, I wasn't in this office before, so I don't know what it was like for anybody before in this office. But I love looking, like the windows here are like floor to ceiling. I really like that. You can't really see the building behind me. It's really kind of nice. So let's look at the charts. I don't know why we're talking about how nice this office is. So anyway, StreamYard, live viewer comments show up on StreamYard. This is an example. Click on a comment to show it on screen. Wow. That's pretty friggin' awesome. What up? Says and sees pride. Sandra, hello. Sorry, that sounded inappropriate. Just caught me off guard. DJ Kuso, what's up? Or what's up? Yay, I can comment. 497, hot fire. Christine Chin, hi Rob. Hey, Christine Chin. Hey, Eldrick, I need trading money. Please help. Yeah. And then Jude, hey, I'm from Ghana. Okay, that was pretty fun. That was fun to look at your comments. I don't know how to get rid of your comments now. Hide. Okay, there we go. Let's go to the charts. Let's take a look at the charts here. What I wanted to do today is just kind of play around with an indicator or two. One thing that I've liked doing in the past is pulling up a standard indicator that a lot of people use or look at. And then maybe, I don't know, switching it around or mixing it up. So you click on FX here on indicators and strategy. If you type in Booker on TradingView, you get a couple of cool, interesting indicators, missed pivot points and whatever else. That's kind of fun. That's kind of interesting. Let's look at the built-ins though. Bollinger Bands, Shande Kroll stop, or the Chaikin oscillator, and then the Shande Kroll stop. I don't know what that is. That looks terrible. I'm gonna remove that one. Chop zone. Whoa, I don't know what that is. I'm looking for Elder's Force Index. That's probably Alexander Elder. Historical volatility, inside bar strategy, Keltner's channel strategy, no sure thing. Okay, so I put a bunch of indicators here on the screen. I'm going to get rid of this piece of garbage that doesn't look right. And then we're going to just kind of, here's a recommendation that I have for you. What the heck is this chop zone? I guess this is like avoid something at all, like red is certainly bearish. And then blue is just chop, right? Yeah, I think that's what it is. That's kind of interesting. So can we change the settings on the chop zone? No, we cannot. Resolution, same as symbol. So we can't change any of the settings here, so we just ignore that. Let's start at the bottom, the KST. So we click on KST and look at all these. RO, len, SMA length. So it's this ROC length, and then as a simple moving average length and signal length. So I'm just going to change the signal length, and that's going to smooth it out a bit. And then I'm going to triple those SMA lengths. And then I'm gonna keep tripling the SMA lengths. And then ROC. Uh-oh. So sorry, excuse me. I should wear my mask when I sneeze. Can it be transported through? Okay, here we go. 60, 45, and then 30. Okay, so what I've done here is I've changed all the lengths, and now the indicator is totally different. This indicator at the bottom of the screen, so screw these other ones. Screw these, who cares? These are garbage. And now all we have is a much smoother picture here. This is lift. I don't care about lift, but it's interesting nonetheless to see how much we've smoothed out this indicator. And now we just trade the crossovers. So we could look at the 4-hour chart on lift, and we could look at these crossovers. And by like using the smoothing out the indicator, lengthening all of the features, we're not getting as many signals. Oh, look at this. I did not intend for this to happen. Lyft just did a bearish crossover on this KST. So it's too bad that the market is closed. I think this is a really great sign that Lyft is crossing over to be negative. And it seems like when that happens, we might be near the bottom some of the time, but at least it gives us more runway. So if we're right here, it goes up some of the time, like PDD, I can't stand this one. It crossed over up recently, crossed over down, and then went up anyway. That's kind of interesting. Oh, the red one crosses. That's the thing. So the red one crossed up. Okay, that makes sense. Let's look at JD. Red crossed up, that's bullish. Green crossed lower. No, red crossed up, that's bullish. The red crossed below, that's bearish, but it didn't work. So there's some problems here. There's some issues. I think you really want the green to cross over. That's the one you really want. That's what you really want. So green crosses over, and that is like the sun. Then it went on this rip-roaring trend. Then green crossed over again, and that was a rip-roaring trend. And now the green crossed over lower. So JD seems a little bit negative. Green just crossed higher on Pinduoduo, and that's interesting. There's a couple false signals in here for sure. Here's FXI, the China ETF, just crossed over bearish kind of recently. Need to see some negativity. And it's all the way up here, you see, and then it's got lots of runway to fall much, much, much lower. That's kind of cool. And because we lengthened, so when you lengthen an indicator, when you triple the values on your favorite indicator, instead of MACD 12, 26, and 9, go MACD 36, 78, and 27. Watch this. We'll just do it. Let's just put the MACD up here. So we'll put the MACD on this. We'll get rid of this KST. Who cares about that, right? Who cares? MACD. So the MACD, and it's a 12, 26, and 9. So we'll go 36. 25 times 3 is 78. 27. So we'll triple the indicator. And what happens is it smooths out. It produces fewer signals. One of my old favorite types of things is the MACD signal lines crossing over. That's an old favorite of mine. Oldie but a goodie. After having, gone a long way up. So here's PBD. I'm super bearish, this piece of garbage Chinese company. And eventually this is going to cross over lower, right? So that's kind of cool. What about JD? Crossed over lower already. What about Lyft? Crossed over lower already. What about Uber? Crossed over way long ago. So what about the, the ES? Continuous contract. Crossed over lower on the 10th of June. That's pretty cool. I think there's a lot of significance to looking at the same indicators that people look at, but just deciding that you're going to look at it in a different way and puts a fresh perspective on it. And I think if I wrote another book about trading, it would be a one-page book, and the title of the book would be "Slow Down Your Indicators." And then you would increase the values on all the settings. Instead of using like a 50-period moving average, use a 150. Instead of using 150, use a 450. I think you should not use any of those. I think you should use an 800, and I'm not joking around. I think you should use an 800-period simple moving average. And for years, Scott and I traded with an 800-period moving average on our charts. Or instead of the Bollinger Bands set to 21,2, set your Bollinger Bands to 800,2. And what happens is you only reach extremes on rare occasions. And the only time if we've all learned anything about trading, it's that most of us take too many trades, and we're not waiting long enough to get in. And by trying to chase after a move as soon as we think it has started, we end up getting in so early that we find ourselves in trouble later on. And I don't think anybody wants that. I don't think anybody wants, so slow it down, extend out those settings. And it's not for everyone. I don't think that's for everyone, but it applies to trend lines and stuff as well. So if I go over here to, I don't know, the ES, I have zero interest in the ZS. There are smarter people than me. See, obviously they're smarter than me. I don't even know how to use the grammar. What I think is a really smart idea is to draw your trend lines on super long-term charts, even if you plan on trading from shorter-term charts. Draw your trend lines on long-term. If you trade from the 5-minute, draw your trend lines on the daily. One of my favorite things in the world to do is go back in time, like Huey Lewis in the News from Back to the Future. I'm gonna go back in time and draw these lines. White lines. You can't make your trend lines white. Draw them super long term. Go way back and watch later on, and then draw horizontal ones too. Who's texting me? Scott's texting me. I love Scott. Draw horizontal lines on places where support or resistance levels were hit multiple times. The S&P 500's eventually going back to these levels. It's not right now. But draw some horizontal lines across areas where price has hit multiple times. And you'll see it get trapped in those areas again. There you go. And these long-term lines are going to come back into play. So now, if I drew these on the 4-hour or the 1 day, I could go down to the 60-minute chart, reset it, and now I have these lines that are drawn from the daily. The S&P 500 is probably dropping to 2978, the ES, probably dropping to 2978. And look at these dual lines up here. Like that's where the chop zone was. You see the ES drove up and down through these levels, but could never do anything. Got outside of the Death Star's tractor beam range. I'm showing that, aren't I? Yeah. Sometimes I talk for 10 minutes and I'm not even showing the chart, and that's ridiculous. But now if it drops even further, that's a lot of ticks. For those of you that trade the S&Ps, that's a bunch of ticks, right? That's a whole bunch of ticks. And then after that, guess what's coming? Guess what's coming next, folks? After that is coming this level down at 28.77. I could even put another line right here at 29.24. Oh, that's a good line. And you can go back in time and see how that line acted as support and resistance. I would venture to say it's a better than 70% chance that the S&P, now that things have crossed over lower, you see the MACD at the bottom of the screen is in negative territory. It's now the signal line has crossed the horizon. That's the bearish MACD. That's the event horizon of the black hole. And that's where not even light can get through. You know, and it makes sense. Like big down day, a lot of bottom chasers kind of expecting a big day tomorrow, and fine, whatever. But I would, even if tomorrow jumps a bit, I would expect that after a day like today, there's not one human on the planet except for Dave Portnoy or whatever, who I respect and love. There's not one guy on the planet except for him that would buy that dip and go into the weekend long. I bet he doesn't go into the weekend long. I mean, I would bet that he goes into the weekend long Penn National Gaming. Jeez. That's a head and shoulders pattern, folks. That's definitely a head and shoulders pattern. That thing breaks down. He should buy some puts. Somebody ought to tweet at that guy and show him this video. He should buy some puts. Just buy, I don't know if you can even get them. Can you get them? Can we, I'll share my screen here. Hold on. I'll bring it up. I didn't have a great day today. I'm in trades. I lost some money, but they'll all pay off if the market drops, which, you know, if it doesn't, it doesn't. Whatever. I don't care. Okay, I'm gonna do it correctly this time. Are you having a good day, everybody? There we go. Robinhood. I'm one of those Robinhood traders. I'm one of those people. I don't know why everybody hates on the Robinhood traders. What the hell's wrong with people? What's the big effing deal? That's like ripping on people for driving the car of their choice. Everybody the Robinhood traders are, anyway, keeping the high frequency traders in business. You know, that's what happens, right? The Robinhood traders buy it. Robinhood sells their order flow. And then the high frequency firms who have bought the order flow front run the Robinhood traders, buy before them. It's all in milliseconds, and get it in, and then sell it to the Robinhood traders for a penny more. Yeah, that's how it works. I don't think I said anything. I don't think I defamed or slanderously libeled anybody. Okay, what are the options? So like puts, August puts, Davey Day Trader, $33. You buy the $33 puts. There's a 20-cent spread on those. Fudge, man! I'll buy one of them. So I'm hedging it for you. I'm going to send. I'll try to PayPal Davey Day Trader. I'll probably try to PayPal him some money if this put pays off. And remember the story of, now the clock is running down. Let's use all these sports analogies. Clock is running down. Remember when Mark Cuban sold, what the fudge was his company? You know, the sports radio broadcast.com. I think that's what it was, right? When he sold that to Yahoo for $5 billion, he got stock. He got Yahoo stock, and it was restricted. He couldn't sell it right away and take the cash, so he bought puts. And when the market tanked, he increased the value of his sale, even though the Yahoo stock dropped. Smart guy. Same would be true. I would be absolutely, well, I don't know if I would be shocked. I'd be shocked if he didn't buy some puts to hedge his, maybe did Barstool Sports sell to Penn National Gaming? Am I getting the whole thing wrong? But if I sold a company for $100 million, I'd buy some puts on that public company that acquired my company. For sure, I would do that. Wouldn't you? So we're doing God's work today. We're helping Davey Day Trader. He's helping traders. We're helping him. That means we're helping traders. That means we're doing some of the work for him. I don't mind it. I don't mind helping other people out. Okay. Daramola says, trend lines trading is not working for me lately. Don't know why. Drea says, would those settings be for super long-term trades like leaps? I have never traded a leap in my life, but I plan on doing it. I think that's a great idea. Abdullah, hello, Maddie. Rob, you're amazing. Thinking as if there is no box at all. Yeah, right. Remember that scene in The Matrix? It's not the spoon that bends, but you? I don't even know if that's true, but I think it is, right? It's not the market that's dropping. It's a bunch of electrons that are being displayed on your screen. It's all just electrons. At the end of the day, it's all just electronic impulses. Everything is. Sending the orders displaying on your screen, receiving the orders, closing the trades. It's all just what you're watching, like right here. It's just electricity. It's just energy, right? I mean, that's it. NCS Pride, I missed the oil drop today. I did not know oil dropped today. Patricia, do you still do mentorship? I think there may be a link to the coaching program below this video. You could check that out. Crypto 420. 420. Have you started your Zoom short yet? Yeah, I have the $250 strike, August or September expiration on Zoom. I don't know where Zoom was today. There's no way that company's worth $60 billion. If that company's worth $60 billion, then we are living in the apocalypse. We are. It's even crazier than pets.com or Webvan. Those are absolutely outlandish. There's fewer overbought tech companies these days because there wasn't the string of IPOs that there was in the early 2000s. But each one of them is potentially 10 or 20 times even more overvalued than those stupid companies from way back when. Cosmo, pets.com, Webvan, Pointcast. Remember that your screensaver had push notifications on your screensaver? It's pretty cool. Elbow cough. And then what broker works best for you? Listen, I can't tell you what stocks to buy. I'm not a broker. I use Robinhood, and I was going to switch out when they went down and everything. But when they went down, I couldn't exit my positions. And then a day later, my positions were all up $5,000 more. And I was like, well, that seems pretty awesome. They kept me from exiting my positions that were profitable. You know, being locked out of your trading account isn't the worst thing that could ever happen to you. Sometimes you should be locked out of your trading account. Anyway, love you all. Michael says, I was just watching Marcus from Rockwell Trading talk about you and another trader. Marcus is a lovely fellow. Been a friend of mine for 10 plus years. So we have a lot of professional respect for each other. I know you probably get this question a lot, but I'm new to trading. Any golden nuggets, gems of wisdom? Gems of wisdom time. Here we go. Gem of wisdom number 1. Reduce your trade size. That's gem number 1. I'm going to try to... Oh, that's even worse. Hold on. Gem of wisdom number 1. Reduce your trade size. The fastest way to make the greatest amount of improvement in your trading is to reduce your trade size. Number one. That's number one. The fastest way to make the most amount of improvement is to lower your trade size. If you go 6 months and you make $1 of profit, you have the potential to make hundreds of thousands of dollars later because you've learned your mistakes and you've taken your losses with smaller amounts. Gem of wisdom number 2. Take fewer trades in fewer instruments and concentrate your attention on fewer things. Trade, find out what you love the most. I love shorting overvalued companies, and I take a lot of flack for it. I have reached a point in my life, everybody. I'm 32 years old now. I'm not 32. I'm 48. I'm 48 years old now. I probably have 20 months left to live, right? I mean, give or take. I mean, I don't know. Genetically, I probably have a month to live. So like I have nothing, there's nothing in it for me to tell you anything except for the truth here. I found out that I'm better at shorting overvalued stocks, stocks that have been rising that don't make any money. So look for stuff that's been rising that isn't making any money, or look for stocks that are dropping that are making money. And then just concentrate on that. Throw everything out the window. Throw everything else out the window. But just get good at that one thing. Like become really good at that one thing. Number 3, quickly remove yourself from any situation where in life or in trading where you're not being treated well by a stock or a person. Do not tolerate the intolerable, ever, ever, ever. And when a stock goes against you, you are tolerating the intolerable. It's not okay. It's like an employee working in the office over next to you, stealing from you. That's ridiculous. You wouldn't keep that person on and go, we'll wait for that person to come back. You just fire the person. Somebody or a stock treats you poorly, you dump it. And then if something's going right, you add to it. So number 4, you add to what's working. And then number 3 was take away from what's not working. Add to what's working. If something's working for you, put your foot on the gas. Put your foot on the gas. Like really press the pedal down when things are going well. Don't get nervous when you're doing well. Get nervous when you're not doing well. We're so loath to cut something off or cut something that's not working or take a toxic or abusive person out of our life. We're so slow to do those things. We're like, I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to cause any problems. I don't want to admit that I made a mistake. And the same is true for stocks. Like, I don't want to admit that I made a mistake. It's going to be public. People are going to find out. People are going to whatever. And then, it's the same thing. Like, imagine being in a good relationship, and people do this all the time, right? They get in a good relationship, and then they kind of ease off, and they kind of get worse. They kind of get lazy about how they treat people. I'm just using that as an analogy. You buy a new car, you keep it clean, you wipe it down with a diaper, you take good care of it. 2 months later, you've got 5,000 miles on it, and the rims are dirty, and there's grease on the side, and there's a little scratch where you ran into the little shopping cart repository at the grocery store, and your kids left a bag of Chick-fil-A trash in the back seat. You didn't tell them to get it out of this. You slowly over time, and that's what happened. Like it's the same with the trade. It's going well, and then you neglect it as if like that's what you should be. You should be drawing all your attention to what's working. Should add to what's going well. And 5 would be become emotionless or stoic. Your good times are never as good as you think they are. And honestly, I don't know, I made like $11,000 a week and a half ago, over a week. Maybe it was last week. I don't know. I made $11,000. And I don't even remember being excited about that. And then today I'm down $3,000 or whatever it is. Past 6 days, I'm probably down $6,000 on these short positions that I have. And it can't matter to you. Those are all like relative to the size of the account. Those are all small and whatever. It can't matter. You can't you take the loss, you take the loss down. Okay. Booked the loss down 6, whatever. You can't let it. You got to be like a football coach on the sidelines. We're down by, what was it? The Patriots were down 3 touchdowns or 3.5 touchdowns in the Super Bowl going into the 3rd or 4th quarter. Came back and won the game. Tom Brady there at the helm throwing touchdowns to Rob Gronkowski. You got to be like unflappable, flappable, like not flappable. You have to be unemotional when things are bad. You got to be unemotional when things are good. You can't let these ups and downs get to you. You got to stay on track. You got to know so I guess at the core, the final gem of wisdom or lesson, we should transcribe this and send it out as a little booklet. The final gem of wisdom is you got to know what your standards are for people, for business, for your trading. You got to know what your standards are. My standards are, this is intolerable behavior by a stock. I will never let that line be crossed. I have a standard. I have a rule. I've stated it publicly. That's it. I have a target for my profit. That's it. That's the end of it. I can scale out on the way there, but I got to get that profit target. My friend Max one time held the Canadian dollar, bought the Canadian dollar at $1.10, said his target was $1.20. That's 1,000 pips. It got 950 pips up. He was probably up $50,000. Didn't close the trade. Went all the way back down to the entry, and he closed it at break even. You might think he's an idiot. He's not an idiot. He's one of the finest and best traders and people I've known in my whole life. And then he got in again, and he rode it all the way to $1.20, and he made 50, 60,000, whatever it was. He knew his standards. You've got to be people got to know where you stand on stuff. Even if it disappoints them, it makes them angry. Even if a stock is being stubborn about it, you have to know your standards. You have to have some kind of rule book for how you will treat people and how you will allow yourself to be treated by stocks. You have to make a list. It's not rules. Like I get in and the thing crosses over the thing. That's not a rule. That's a stupid entry rule. And you can violate those all day long and it won't matter. The rules you got to have are the general principles and standards about how you will allow yourself to be treated, what you will allow yourself to do, how far you will allow yourself to go, how many shares or lots you're going to take on a trade, and you never go beyond that. And how much of a loss you're willing to take. You'll never go beyond that. And what kind of criteria must be present in order for you to be interested. You got to know those things. You got to know yourself. You have to let that internal conscience drive your decision-making more than some rule book or some windbag blowhard idiot on YouTube tell you what your rules are. Was this helpful at all? All right. See you later, everybody. I love the shit out of you all. Excuse the language. Best of luck to you. Stay safe out there. Take your losses. You'll feel a relief. Ride your winners. You'll learn that you are worth more than you think you are. You will learn that you are deserving of greatness. You will learn that $50,000 a month is normal. It's not out of the question. $50,000 a month is normal. That's a normal thing. If you were a hedge fund manager, that would be a ridiculously poor performance. It's a totally normal thing. You have to understand that your standard is higher. You won't look at a trade unless it can pay you $1,000 or $2,000. You won't even consider it. You're never going to let another person talk you into a trade ever again. That kind of stuff. All right, I got to go. I got to get out of here. I'm going to go live on Facebook. If you follow me on Facebook, Rob Booker Trader, I'm going to walk around the office a bit and show you all the office. Today's move-in day, so all the big furniture is coming on the way. I'll see you later, everybody. Bye for now.